Right then, people, we're on. Woo. So, we're off to do a little introductory video of this American muscle car that I've got. It's a little bit cool. It's only 28 degrees at the moment. And I thought I would just give you a good overview of this 6.2 litre V8 Chevrolet Camaro. I like to blend my tasks and multitask, if you will. I'm going to get some breakfast on the way because I'm starving. And you can hear a squeak. There is a bit of a squeak. Now that the music's not on, I can hear it a bit more. But I can't have music on because I'm talking, and I'll get a copyright infringement. So we're out here in the Sultanate of Oman, which, for those of you not aware, it borders Saudi Arabia and Yemen. So probably not, doesn't sound like the best of places, but actually it's lovely. It's kind of the Switzerland of the Middle East, if you will. They don't seem to get involved in any wars, or not for a while anyway. Oh, do my nut in that. What's going on here? Problem, I'm British, so I do like to moan a lot. It's not a criticism, it's an observation. I do find the road system in Oman, I think it's very Americanized. And you do get a lot of traffic unnecessarily, in my opinion, crossing over each other. So I'm not saying the UK is perfect by any means, but when you come off a highway or a motorway in the UK, you've got your own designated slip road to come off, and then people joining the motorway will normally do it after a bridge or something, and you never shall the two meet. Here is the opposite, so I'll be trying to get off the motorway as someone's trying to join, and it causes a number of accidents. There's a particular spot up here, and there's blind spots, and you've only got 100 meters, if less, to complete your move. And the eagle-eyed among you will spot that this is a blend of two videos. So I've tried to wear the same outfit, if you can call it an outfit, just to ensure continuity. But there will be some of you that recognise that I messed some of it up towards the end, so I've kind of set off again. And you do get funny looks, as I'll show you in a second from the last clip. You do get some funny looks when you've got a GoPro on you, because nobody does that over here. Right, well, I'm just off to get a sandwich and a coffee, so bear with me. I'll need it for my vlogging later. Right, well, we're off again. Under. Oh, that squeaking's going to do my nut. Now I've noticed it. Oh, look at this dickhead here. Middle East. Yep, to stop, love. So, through the power of editing, you'll be able to see a quick clip of the earlier video whereby I nearly have an accident at that place I was just referring to. Again, always talking about speed limits. In Oman, you speed, you'll get caught. On the motorways, they have fixed speed cameras every 2 kilometres, I think. Checked it the other day, it's about thereabouts. And they do not have to notify you that they are watching you. So there's cars everywhere. There's unmarked cars that actually drive around with a radar and get you on the fly, which is pretty impressive, actually. Just been done by a taxi. We've got to watch those guys because they think they can do whatever they want multiple times. The motorways here are typically 2 lanes and they're relatively quiet actually, but you'll have a taxi who just pulls over at the side of the hard shoulder and then he'll casually just set off at 20-30 kilometres straight onto the first lane of the carriageway as you're doing 125 clicks at him. So that's a bit of an eye-opener when you're on cruise control. Prepared to get a couple of funny looks today because it's not off. You don't see many vloggers and things in Oman. I haven't seen any. Certainly dash cams and GoPros in cars are a bit of a very rare occurrence. Never seen a GoPro in use. So yeah, and I did try a video with it on my head and that was a step too far, I think. Off we go. I think there's one of them just looking now. Wondering what the hell's going on. Is he going to career into me? No, he's avoided the accident today, although this guy's... Oh, fucking hell, I hate... Horrible. Here we go, speaking of taxis. Fucking hell, there we go. Shit. That was... What a dickhead. I had nowhere to go. Shame you missed out on that, you'd have enjoyed it. What a dick. Oh, that would have been a short video. We've got another one in front, we're just pulling in wherever he wants. Makes me double check myself when I'm talking about buying a motorbike out here. Right, back to current day. So, for those of you who subscribed and follow my channel, this is my 5th and final vehicle in the fleet. At present, I've got my eyes on a couple of other things as well. It lives in the Middle East full time, and it will not be coming over to the UK. It costs about £5,000 to ship your car over to the UK and have it tested and road legal. You need to keep it 12 months, otherwise you have a tax burden on it. I shall not be going through that effort for this. Although saying that, it's probably a good car to make money on in the UK because we don't sell Camaros. They are all imports. The Mustang was a similar car up until, I don't know, 2015 onwards maybe when they started selling them new. And why would you want to buy a left-hand drive one when you can buy a right-hand drive? So it's a 6.2 litre V8, naturally aspirated, old technology, think push-rod engine and whatnot. The figures, I do forget now. I think it's a J spec VIN number, which puts it at about 420 or 440 horsepower. I'll make a note of it. To be honest, it doesn't really feel to me like 440 horsepower. It's certainly not slow, but up until this, the quickest thing I owned was a Mark II Ford Focus RS, which was just insane. It looked amazing for a start. It looked menacing. It had the Mountune pack on it, the MP350, but then we put a Meltec exhaust on it with a 200 cell sports cat and a K&N air filter, so it was probably around about 360, 365 at a push. It had the original plenum and all that sort of stuff, so, and that was just brutal, to be honest. It just threw you back in the seat. Now with this one, it's very linear in its delivery, but it just doesn't feel as much, and especially with the standard exhaust system. Now, I've actually done another video of this, doing an oil change, and as it's up in the air, and that'll be coming out shortly, as it's up in the air, you can see all the different silencers. There's about 5. It's really heavily muffled. But you're not allowed to modify your cars in Oman, so if I was to get an axle back, would be as far as I went with it. I've then got to keep changing it back for its annual inspection, which is like the MOT test. So But we're going to go for a nice drive today to some country roads. I've left it a bit late. It's nearly 10 o'clock in the morning now, and it's a Saturday, so Friday mornings at 9 o'clock are pretty good because everyone's in bed ready to get ready for, I think, prayer time about midday. But I was hanging over yesterday from an all-inclusive brunch type thing in the evening. I've also, I can get it, I've got this little jobby here. So, believe it or not, this goes in your mush, and you put the camera on the front of it. So I'm going to try this later. Hey, oh, we've got a Camaro here. Another one. Inferno red, I think. Looks orange. May have got that paint colour slightly wrong. Hey. Oh, his is the RS. That's the V6. And he's got a tail light out. Oh well, can't have it all. So yeah, I think this is for like your skiers or your surfers of the world. But we'll give it a go. I have installed, I think it's called the Ride, which is an OBD, override, and it basically, this car being an automatic has the 4-cylinder shutdown mode when you're cruising, which I don't particularly like. What's this guy doing? So you put this little box in and it overrides it, and it just tricks the car into being in V8 mode all the time, which is my preference, so I leave it there. Obviously it's not as good on fuel economy, but I mean out here it's 45p a litre, so what, 72 litre tank, which is pretty big to be fair, although it's thirsty. It's maximum I ever get down to is 13 reals for a full tank, which 26, 27 pounds. Cannot complain about that. And the most recent issue, if you will, this is one thing I did have an issue with, was the air conditioning. So it's a GCC spec car, which one of the giveaways is the Arabic writing in the mirrors. But out here, a lot of the cars you can buy are maybe imported from Dubai or ignore that because that's GCC as well, but from Canada or America. Quite often they're mangled up in America and shipped overseas, fixed through cheap labour, and then you've got a cheap car, but you don't have the GCC specs to it, so the air conditioning's not as strong. Out here, it does get 50 degrees, 51's the most I've ever seen, and it wasn't on the dash, it was on a proper reading, which is pretty damn hot to be fair, and especially when you get in the car that's been sat in the sun all day with leather seats, it's a bit painful to be honest. So the air conditioning wasn't working as well as it should do. I took it, I had the full system re-gassed, they did a full leak check, and it was fine. Still wasn't quite as I wanted it to be. And then all of a sudden it kind of gave up a little bit. I'm actually going to back it off a little bit now because it's too bloody cold. Anyway, thanks to the forums. If it wasn't for forums, I'd be a bit stuck in life, but when I was going from hot to cold on the dial indicator, it was staying the same. You can turn the fan speed up. And apparently one giveaway symptom and problem for that is the blend door, which is, in fact, if you're lucky enough, oh, look at this. This is the blend door. This is the old one. Probably should have pulled in to do this, but so this sits, and it's a bitch to fit. It goes right near your feet. This is where it's situated in the car. Plugs in that way, I think. And then on this side, you've got an actuator that kind of just turns it. Snaps off though. So a lot of the guys on the forums were saying that the actuator for the blend door is too strong, and when you go into max cold, it's got a lot of torque on it, and eventually it snaps off the corner piece, which is exactly what happened. I bought this in from America, $40, And I went to an AC place and I told them the issues, and they said, oh no, you need to regas it. And I said, I'm telling you what I want you to do. It's been regassed, change this. And they were like, it's not going to be that. So if you go on Chevrolet and you speak to those guys, to change that little thing, you've actually got to remove the windscreen and you've got to take bits out, and that's the proper way of doing it. So thank you very much for your innovative engineering there, Chevrolet. A cheat way of doing it is to just cut a little panel out near the pedal box and basically just pull it out, slot the new one in, put your 2 bolts back in, and then just put some adhesive round, seal it up, which is what we've done. I don't think I wasn't willing to take the screen out for a start. So yeah, that's that, and what a difference. Some motorbikes here. I'm thinking I might turn you guys around because you're missing a lot of good scenery here. Where am I going to go? Go up here. Oh, there's my lunch. So we'll try a different view for you. Never done this one before. So yeah, wonderful scenery. It's great out here if you want to do camping and a lot of water sport activities. Sort of getting into that district, if you will. Yeah, we've got a few crazies out. I mean, drafted by a Suzuki Swift of all bloody things, and there's a Toyota Corolla doing that to him. What to do? What a dickhead. Look at that, outside bend. Right then, well I've just pulled in, obviously. There's a big piece of plasterboard here that someone's offloaded, so that's going to ruin the shot a little bit. I thought I'd give you a walk around the car. I mean, look at the scenery here. Ignore that, don't look down. It's really quite amazing. So, that window needs a clean. The paint on this side of the car, you can see the front wing over there is looking a bit poor. I will put some pictures up of when I've had it 3-stage polished, which is probably what started that problem in the first place, but it did look amazing. It's very hard to keep your cars in good nick out here, because where I live you get a sandstorm every evening about 4 o'clock. That pebble ashes your vehicle. Tailpipes are not overstated really. Oh, I'm gonna fly on my head now. Get off. The flies in the Middle East are the most persistent ones. It's on the GoPro now. I've had the front bumper resprayed, that needs another go. It was a bit unfortunate, literally after having it resprayed about 3 months afterwards, I was going down the motorway, following a taxi, he ran over some lump of something, it threw it up in the air and then I hit it. So, wasn't enough time to avoid it. Yeah, that wing, that's just letting it down, but I will get that sorted. I've had all the alloys refurbished as well, and then I took it in for new tyres, and they kind of messed up the wheels a little bit. Frustratingly. So this is the interior. Wouldn't have been my first choice to go for red. Bloody flies. But actually it works well, and these all light up at night. Oh, he's in the cabin now. Yeah, in the back, very little space. I certainly wouldn't suggest taking anybody for long distances in this. So I've got this little device set up, which will be interesting. It's a bit difficult to see, to be honest. Probably not the most safe things to do, but we're going to give it a go. So here we go. Oh, it's in now. Well, that was interesting. Sort of teeth now. So, to be fair, this road isn't ideal for it, and there's police cars everywhere. Usually, there's speed cameras all over the shop, so don't want to be going mad. The speed limit for this road is quite low, actually. So, yeah, I use the flappy paddles a little bit, which is good for that sort of thing if you want to hold it in a particular gear. It's got the auto blipper on the downshift, which is helpful. I'll just give you one final look around the car, and I think we'll probably call it a day there. So I seemingly find the best places to pull in and showcase the sights of Oman. We've got a massive bin next to us. Some sort of water tower. This is a football field, believe it or not. Look at that. Fancy a quick game on there, lads? Don't stub your toes. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm not sure whether this was as entertaining as some of the other ones. I will be doing some more on the Camaro. Like I said, probably drives out and about. But I need a thumbnail as well. I always forget that. That'll do. What do you think of this for a thumbnail? So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and let us know what you. Oh God, come back. Let us know what you think. If there's anything you want to look at on the Camaro in particular, and yeah, catch you on the next one. Oh, by the way, you should subscribe as well. You'll get the channel. You'll get the channel updates. All right.